old?
The 8th.
The 8th of July,
Yeah.
2019.
Aye.
2019. And where were you born?
In Cubas.
Cubits.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your parents' name? Your mom and dad. What were their names?
John was my
Okay.
father's name, and Mary was she was Mary Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah.
And how many years did you spend living in Cubits?
I was 26 when I got married.
Okay.
I was on Labrador for 20 odd years.
Labrador.
They were in Domino Road on a place called Sandbanks.
Sandbanks.
And that's where my father had a room. He had a little house down there. And I'd go down cook.
You were a cook?
Yeah. For 4 or 5 men.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been down there.
I have,
Down
yes.
the road, but it's not far. It's only across the way.
Yeah. What memories have you got of down in Domino?
Aye.
What memories have you got? How did they do the fishing? Did they salt it?
Aye.
Did they salt the fish down in
Oh,
Domino?
yes.
Yeah.
Heavy salted. In a great big bulk. And Uncle Tom Daw was the man who was the salter.
Salter. Yeah.
They all had a job. Salters and truck cutters and all the rest.
Yeah.
It was good times.
It was
though.
good time, was it?
Yeah.
So what was good about down in Labrador? How did you enjoy your summers down there?
Oh, well, we'd go places, go big apple picking and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sure, what's her name? Daphne.
Yeah.
She was down there.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Not when I was
Not when
there.
you were there,
but
no.
She was down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was back. That was back about 85 years ago. You were on the coast of Labrador.
Yeah.
85 years ago.
Yeah.
What was it like down there then?
Well, it was, it wasn't very good, but we was comfortable. Yeah.
You lived on the land. You didn't live on the schooner. No.
No. We lived on the land, and the first boat I went down on was the Energy.
Energy.
Yes, Skipper Sam Dower
Owned her.
Samuel Abe, we used to call him.
Samuel Abe. Yeah. And you went down on the schooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boats they fishes in now is bigger.
This boats they fishing now is bigger. Really. And where did you sleep on the schooner?
Oh, we slept in the hole.
In the... Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself and Kev Dower and Marcy Potter and Gladdy Bishop.
Bishop. Yeah.
Mm.
Imagine.
And 4 of us.
Yeah. Down with the provisions.
Aye.
Sleeping on the provisions. The potatoes and the carrot. And you bring all that down?
Well, we wouldn't have much potatoes, I can tell you.
No.
We'd have, like flour and beans and stuff, so much of that, everybody would. And then we'd have dough boys and stuff, say Monday and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, we wouldn't have we'd have a bit of pork. And we'd have a salt beef.
Salty.
And we'd cook salt beef and have a dough. No, a nail potato, and we'd have a rice pudding for after.
Really? Wow.
And Dot can tell you about the pudding, because she wrote me one time from Moose Knee.
Yeah.
The minister was coming there to her place in Moose Knee.
Moose Knee.
And she rang me in the morning, and I said, "Oh, what's wrong?" You know. "Oh, nothing," she said. "But I want to know," she said, "how you make that dough." That was making mind, eh?
So you stayed on the coast of Labrador. How did you get home in the winter, in the fall?
Oh, we'd come home in the fall, the same as whatever we went down in. And then we changed to that, and we used to come on HDs Jean and Mona.
Jean and yes.
And then we used to come on the coil.
Oh, okay.
That's where I met your mother and your brother, Raymond.
Raymond Ward, yeah.
He was a little baby in her arms.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about the salt fish? How did that come back up?
Aye.
How did they get the salt fish up from Labrador?
We made it on Labrador, on the bond they used to call it.
Yes, bond.
That was rocks, lovely round rocks. I'd like to have one. And schooners had come from, well, say HV, there was a schooner come down now, and there was a Greenland man, W.H. Greenland, from Coley's Point, used to have someone come from overseas, I'll call it.
Yes.
And wouldn't boil. He'd take the fish and give you a note. Then maybe you wouldn't get paid till Christmas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Did they dry the fish down there?
Oh, yeah.
You washed it out and dried it?
Yeah.
Really?
We dried most all of the fish down there
Yeah.
on the barn.
Yeah. So what time in the day would your work begin, getting breakfast? What time would you have that breakfast for the men?
Oh, they'd go out to the trap. They'd have to go about a hour out to the trap, out around the point.
Yeah.
And well, we'd have to have the breakfast ready when they'd come. 4 o'clock, they'd go 4 o'clock in the morning, and we'd get up and cook but it changed a lot after that.
So what did you cook? A lot of fish?
Oh God, yes, we had morning, noon, and breakfast. You know, we'd have them boiled, stewed, and fried.
Fried.
Yeah, and we used to have them little ones that was no good, little tomcats.
Tomcats.
And Uncle Tom Dow used to clean them, and he was really a clean man. Clean them and take the bone out of them, and that's what we'd have for Sunday morning breakfast. As no, that's wrong. Sunday evening supper.
Supper?
Supper, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no fresh meat?
I
Was there any fresh meat?
no. Never, unless they got a bird of some quality. There wasn't too much birds down there.
Really?
Not then,
No.
no. And Pat used to come there when I go, and she'd get those little birds, I forget the name of them,
Yeah.
and she'd be shooting them as she come along.
Really?
Yeah.
What about seals?
I
Any seals?
no.
No seals.
There was seals down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody would get one, they shared it about.
Shared around.
Yeah. And get salmon.
And salmon. So you had lots of salmon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had salmon nets and stuff. you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you came home from the Labrador in the fall, what did you do then? Go to school?
I didn't, because I went to them when I was 15, and that's the last school I went to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You were in school in Cupid's until you were
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
What was school like?
Aye?
What was school like in Cupid's? What was the school like? And the principal?
We'd have, when we was little, we'd have a slate. Did you ever see that?
Slate?
He was framed, a little slate, about as big as that.
Yeah.
And then you do what you had to do, what you was told. And you'd rub it off. The boys had their sleeves black with dirt, rubbing it off.
Rubbing the slate?
You had a pencil. You wouldn't have a black letter, no. Well, on the end of it they had ink wells in the seats, in a hole, and we had a pen.
Mm-hmm.
then it was later. But Maud Norman was my first teacher.
Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was hard as a nail.
Yeah.
I mind one time we used to carry on, of course, you know, we wasn't good. And Bill Norman was on the other side school. The boys was on one side and we was on the other. And I put up my mouth and put it over my eyes and made faces at him, and she caught me. And she put me up in the corner.
No.
And Ern Shepherd, you know Ern Shepherd, did you?
Yeah.
Ern Shepherd, he was very quick, smart on his legs and that. And he used to sit with a fellow by the name of Bill Drew. And they're all dead now. And she was going to cane, he done something wrong, and I don't know what it was now. And he was sat there, and Bill Drew was a great big fella. So Maud come down with the strap, she hold out your hand. And every time he'd hold out his hand, she'd be going to come down, and he'd pull back. And he used to hit her, and she got mad. And she started pounding on the back. And he jumped up and he went around Bill. Yeah. He was near around my age.
Right, yeah. So that was good times going to school.
Aye.
That was good times going to school. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Did you have to take cod liver oil?
Aye.
Did you have to take cod liver oil? Did you have to take cod liver oil?
Oh yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was going when we
Yes.
was young.
Yeah. In the morning?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So what were the teachers like?
Aye.
Was the teachers all good teachers?
Oh yes, some,
Yeah.
but she was spicy. Maud Norman.
Yeah.
Oh, she got, you do these little things, she'd be there with us, right? Give them a deal.
Yeah.
But she never very often touched me.
No.
And the other girls. We was girls on the other side.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I had 4 brothers and 1 sister.
What were their names?
I
What were their names?
Hedward, I suppose, Ned we used to
Yeah.
call them. There was the holders. And Clayton and Coyle, you know them, and Don went away.
Okay.
He died up in Toronto about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And Mary, she married Clarence Oliver. His sister came out home. He was married to Bill Sprackle, and he come over for the winter, so they got to go. So she married him. She had 4 children.
4 children.
Yeah.
Did you have any times in the lodge?
Oh yes.
Tell me about it.
When they have a concert in Christmas and when they have the walkout, you know, the Orangeman walkout,
Yeah.
and Christmas, they'd have a concert in the night, and then when the concert was over, they had rings. I forget the name of it, what it was the names, and they'd sing and we'd go round and round.
Really?
Yeah.
And they had the bands. They used to play the drums and
Yeah.
the.
Mm.
What was that like?
Yeah. Who was the drummer? Oh, I believe it was Bill Sprackle. And Uncle Ed's daughter, them was, I believe, the musicians.
Yeah.
They one time there was Uncle Ed, Mackie, Ern, and Guy died. All of them was and Bill Sprackle and Mr. Ivany, Fred Ivany. They was all the band. and they'd walk out in crovers every Christmas.
Really?